Or over there wasting people's time. Yo, what's good? Hey, hey. Yeah, hey. It's a little stacked. A little stacked. A little stacked. A little bit. Got to face this guy twice in a row. So he learned from his previous, but I still think, we'll just beat him in a different way. Actually, I think it's going to be faster. He's not going to have block damage. And even if in the event his Sifi's faster, I got supersonic on my champ, so joke's on you, buddy. So you ain't doing nothing. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. It ain't gonna happen, dude. And the one champ's got like 50k health, if that. Get out of here. Not happening. Clunk. Okay, let's put an end to this. Um, do you have some of there's a couple of cheese methods that are possible to duo. Um, I know there's some good cheese methods. That's rough. It's got a chance now. Okay, I'm not gonna like screw around. I'm just gonna go ahead and nuke his butt into the ground. Let me see here. Do you do account look overs or tips? I'm struggling to beat Sand Devils level 25. I don't have a God Seeker either. Um, I'm pretty sure I have the chance, but I can't for the life of me get it. I do know that there is a few champions that can cheese it. So my understanding, I'm not going to go too in depth because I still got to do three more battles before 6 o'clock. So I do know there is a possible method that you can use. Let's see if you have these two champions. Do you happen to have? this champion, uh, the lady Makaji, whatever the heck her name is, and then Ninja. Ninja might be the one that you may not have. But I do know there's methods in order to cheese using those two champions and those two champions by themselves. And then there's even a method. Yeah, so give me some time and I could probably send you in the right direction. Um, I do know that more than likely, if memory serves me, they're putting. So the lady here on her alternate form does sleep. So you're going to be taking advantage of that. And I do believe they put Affinity Breaker in one of these champions, Ninja and her. And then she sleeps, Ninja nukes, rinse and repeat. And then I have heard, while I haven't seen the video, apparently built a certain way, this champion by himself can apparently, I've heard, the rumor that I heard was he can solo it. Now you have to have him built a certain way, and what could mean is that he'll be built in a way that you're not going to be able to use him in PvP. But we do have, you know, free arena. Um, I mean, free rig gears. So as long as you remember to put the gear on, I haven't got him yet. Well, he's not going to be attainable through shards. You can only get him from doing Chimera. Yeah, you got to do Chimera. Here, and this is how you can get him. And how, yeah, depending what difficulty you can clear, determines like how many shards per week you can get. So like obviously the higher, I can't exactly remember how many shards, how many fragment pieces you get of him. I think if memory serves me, it if you were doing like Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare and you were clearing all of them. Oh yeah. Oh, you'll be getting them soon enough. You'll get them soon enough. And what what kind of gear requirements is needed? Not 100% certain, but I've heard the rumors, and I've heard some players chatter that he can solo it. Now, don't get excited that it's going to be fast. It's not going to be fast. Um, I myself, I really desperately need to redo mine. My team is, well, when it first came out. I haven't touched this team yet. It was speed tuned, but Septimus got a buff, and now it throws off the speed tune a little bit. It still does it. It just not in the nice little, hey Oliver, nice little rhythm it had before, and now it's, yeah, they Septimus got a buff, and now it kind of does some weird things. So it's like, but it still works. I'm long overdue for actually fixing, redoing. I have all the champions. I've seen a video that clears it on a regular basis with 9 turns. The best this team can do is like 35. But it's basically, like the whole team dies. Sifi's really stacked with high HP. She's in like two different defensive sets, and she doesn't die. And then she rises everyone. Boss obviously goes to sleep, and then I just smack him into the ground. But I mean, yeah, this is the Sifi set. You know, it's nothing. Like I said, it's the it when Sand Devils first came out. So I've used this team for like I don't know 3 or 4 years. So I haven't adjusted it, and it has always done 35 turns, pretty much. It either does 35 to 39, depending. There's some bad luck sometimes, but rinse, repeat, see if he reses everyone, and like I said, now that Septimus has, he's got a pretty good buff. I looked at it, looks decent on paper. One of the two, clan mates have went ahead and like put together a really nice like speed farm with them. So I got two of them. Yeah, maybe. You know, but it's more like taking the time to rebuild that team when like I think the team that I seen out there they used and then I gotta get back to the live arena. I gotta do three more matches. Um, but two of these guys, which I do have, um, a Kymor, which I do have. Kidding me? I have multiple of him, and that it's more or less collecting dust. And then not 100% certain on the rest of the team, but I seen the video. I have it saved to view later and try to get the speed. But apparently, you could do it in like it's either 9 turns or 7 turns, and I probably can do it. So I'll probably rebuild my team at a later date and bother to do it. But I have seen some people out there with the duel, the Ninja and Lady Makaji. Apparently, those two can duel the Sand Devils at 25. Like I said, don't get excited for the speed, but they can do it. I have seen some people do it. All right, so I had to use the bathroom, but then I got three more battles to do. I have a very absurd win rate at the moment. I'm not. Don't get excited. I don't foresee keeping this 90% win rate. But hey. At least we can say at the moment we have a 90% win rate after 52 matches. How many people could, Yeah, I guarantee there's some cheese methods involved that you can definitely put together until you can have like a more confident team that can like just smoke it. Yeah, man. First, I don't have a time to do no 810 battles. Get out of here. Good for them. First of all, I'm one person, and only one person plays my account. I have a hard time believing that only one person is playing these guys' account. Mm-hmm. I believe you. So, 325 is more realistic, and 246 is realistic. 289 is realistic. 588. Yeah, I don't think you're not convincing me that you are playing by yourself. So, for the most part, I don't think I've missed a day, and I've just been doing, I do my 10 and I move it along. And in fact, I think the one day I did 15 battles. So, for those that are, good for them. Good for them. I personally, I've said this before. I'll say it again. The live arena thing, it's kind of rubbish. If the only thing that matters is the number of battles you do, then what's the point of it? There's the leaderboard, the trophy. That none of it really means anything. Now, look, I'm going to say this guy right here probably should win it per se, based on look, he's got a great win rate and he's doing a ton of battles. There's no reason why. I see reasonable. And even, the number two spot, I would certainly say, it's reasonable, 73%, number of battles, win points. What I have a problem with is the number six. The number six is literally just winning and losing at a near perfect rate of 50%. The coin flips and the coin falls, and he wins or loses. And he's in six, all because he does so many battles. And so that's kind of silly. It's kind of silly if that how much they wait. Just doing the battle. All right, be right back, guys. All right, all right. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. What do I miss? Hey, I am. Hey, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna be in the top 10, at least have more than a 50% win rate. You know, you really do. You Hey, and you might say, well, why is it bothering you? Well, it doesn't per se. It's what it shows and demonstrates the flaw in the system. That's all. And this is why, like, hey, they really, really need to re-examine the points and how everything's taken into place. Where it's just, hey, we can make the good case that everyone right now that's in the top 10 deserves to be, minus this guy. Just because he's doubled the number of battles everyone else has. So that's it. You know what I mean? Like I think looking at the rest of the people, I I think they look like they have a reason to be in the top 10. You just got the guy with his stinky 52% win rate. It's just like, wait a sec, does he belong there? Well, I think I'm going to be eating a loss here, guys. Yeah, this guy's stacked. I know he is. Yeah, he's starting out strong. Wait, that's not. That's an interesting blessing that he has on his Marius. Interesting. That's exactly what I thought he would do, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not sure. Perhaps he was using it for Hydra? Hydra or Chimera? Had to be for something for Hydra. That'd be my best guess. Well, I just had to, think about how fast his champs are going to be. Ah! Okay. He knew what was up. Because I know his the that champion. I know it was going to be like super fast. So clunk. Probably going to be it right here. It's a one shot. Better than expected. Well, I don't think he can. Yeah, he doesn't remove. Unkillable. Why not? Like I said, I'm not looking. You know, the unkillable ran off. That's all right. I expected it. You know, he's way more stacked than I am. So, yeah. Yep. Sweet, the troublemaker. Yeah, he's more stacked than I am. I would have had a reasonable chance if he had not banned that one champ, but it's okay. Probably what I should have done is just gone for more, playing defensive, just, bring in champions, but don't, not really, but it's a whatever. That's all right. I was due for a loss. I can't keep my 90% win rate going. Can't keep my 90% win rate going. Like I said, it'll probably fall down to the 70s. Okay, I see what you're up to. I haven't decided yet who I want to use. I have some thoughts. Let's see who he brings. Does he bring in a Rotos? No, no Rotos. Well, one of the most obvious things you can do is just like, we'll see. We'll see if I want to do it. Yeah, why not? We'll try. So, like, the most obvious thing, we'll just ban him and you know. Okay, I'm not I'm not too worried. If he goes faster, then he goes faster. I know for a fact I have supersonic, so I expect his CP to boost me. Get out. Well, yeah, that's it. Clunk. Yeah, your triple hitter with no accuracy isn't going to do anything. But thanks for playing. Okay, we got one more to do. And then I'll be my 10 for the day. I ain't got no time to sit there and do live arena all day. Some people do. I particularly. I don't know. It's a combination of things. Doing it and wanting to make the time for it. I guess there's a difference. And I don't want to make the time for it. I want to do. I want to do my 10 battles a day and move on. Because at some point in time, they're going to put a cap on it. Or so they should. They should. Now, the one reason they won't, because putting a cap on it means people spend less. So there's that too. So we'll see where it goes. Supposedly, later this year, who knows what that means. Later this year could be let's just say Christmas. If he puts in Rotos, that I lost to a Rotos team with this comp before, all because of just how many turns Rotos got. It was just busted. Although it's not a dependable strategy. I ain't gonna lie, but it did work the one time I faced one this season. I even had to like send a ticket to them just to understand like, so what the hell just happened? Another classic, turd that has put in his entire team in a Mercurial set. Well, joke's on you. If people just learn you can bring in multiple hitters, you just smoke them. Wait a second, but it's going to protect me from 3 hits, right? Yeah, that's why you bring in a team that can do AoE 5 times. Huh, who would have thought? Yes, I don't know. The player base is kind of dumb on that one. Like, on one hand, like, you know, tip your hat to Plarium to convincing the player base to take all their champions and rear gear them in Mercurial because, it's going to give them an idea if they have a chance. Not really. What was that infamous words that you said, Oliver? Uh, 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 the illusion they have a chance. Yeah, that's what it is. An illusion. And that's what that Mercurial set is. It supposedly gives, lesser players a chance. Yeah, that somewhat is true. Only true if someone's not bringing in multiple hits. Hey, bring in multiple hits, problem solved. Yeah, that's who I went against here. That's alright. It happens. Can't win them all. But hey. I'm winning most at this point in time of the season. 89%, nearly a 9 out of 10. Heck yeah. And you might say, why aren't you going to do more? No. I did my 10 battles for the day. No, thank you. No, thanks. No. I do my 10. I move on. I am not going to sit there and spam multiple battles throughout the day. I got better things to do. Oh, man. Cleveland might hold on to the game tonight. So the score at the moment, Cleveland is winning 114 to 109. There is 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds on the clock. And yeah, okay. All right. So there is now 15 seconds left on the clock. Cleveland is up by 3, and they are going to go back to the free throw line. So, hey, hopefully they can at least make one. It'll be a 6-point lead. And while unnecessary miracles can't happen, it'd be darn difficult to come back by 6 points with 15 seconds. So, okay, so Cleveland has scored another basket. So, yeah, they're up by 6. There's 15 seconds left. Um, if I was him, yeah, do you miss? Okay, so they're up by 7 with 15 seconds on the clock. Barring a miracle, that is more or less how the game is going to end. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's the way it ends. Cleveland wins finally. Okay, so Cleveland has at least gotten the series 2 games to one. The next game is still in Cleveland that I know of. So, hey, good news. At least Cleveland, is trying to put up a fighting effort. Unlike the New York Knicks in the 76ers, the 76ers are down 3-0. Woo! Yeah, that is not looking good. That's a woof. Wow, that's just a terrible, terrible game going on over there. I know I probably won't do it tonight, but I know I got to work on my Camaro run. And we've a bunch of guys in our clan. They've already you know did the hard work and done the hold on a second. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I know my friend Adam called. We usually get together every other Saturday, and this would be his Saturday free. I don't know. We usually just grab like dinner, BS for a bit. I gotta send. Nothing complicated. Nothing super bunkers. Usually lunch. I mean dinner, and we catch up. There is some USV action tonight. I don't know. I don't know. He knows he's more into it than I am. Yeah. We'll take a look. I gotta send a message real quick to somebody in game on my Discord, and then we'll get right back to. Yeah, I'll show you the build. Um, I've had him. I've had him in a couple of different builds. Um, initially I had him in a 9 piece Mercurial set. Now, why didn't I keep that? Well, since mine's not empowered, he didn't he didn't hit all that hard, and you want those counterattacks to really hit hard. So I re-geared him and I put him in a 4-piece lethal, and of course a 4th piece stone skin. And I still got pretty good um, reaction accessories. So he's in a piece of reaction. Wait, no, he's not. Meh. I thought he was. Well, I guess I thought. Interesting. Well, now I'm curious. So in one way, he's actually probably still technically too fast. Like in one hand, he's probably too fast because like some people make theirs like slow as a snail. But the problem I have with making it super slow, it ain't my play style. I don't turtle. It's nuke or or I win or lose quick. Uh, Long drawn out battles, no thanks. Oh man, I still haven't gotten a better piece. Really? We're gonna have to look. So you know, hey, that's like I said that I could even make them faster, but I'd rather have speed, the HP on that one. But yeah, I don't have like empowerment levels on. But it is good to have some accuracy in his build. Um, so like his A3 can hit through things. But that's but yeah, 131k, you know, 337 crit damage. Accuracy's on the low side and resistance a little low side. But again, that it comes down to not having um empowerment. But I got some really good accessories on them. I swore I had an interaction piece before. What did I have? Yeah, that's what I had on before. So I could forego 65 um, accuracy for a reaction piece. Well, let's be honest. I don't really think reaction is all that great on Predator because before he takes a turn, he's got a built-in 50% evade. So even if that 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 ignore that reaction accessory isn't even getting much use. So that's why I went with a good piece of Feral because like I said, before he takes a turn, he starts the battle with 50% evade. So but come on, even bad RNG, you're more than likely evading a couple pieces, a couple hits before he takes a turn. So, but yeah, that's the build. Pretty satisfied with it. And of course, like in my, I went, I got every time he counterattacks, 50% more damage. They do stack, but there's huge diminishing returns, so it's not really worth doing. I've seen some people that do. Um, I've after killing an enemy, the next attack will ignore 12% defense. Hey, why not, right? And then hey, often not you're in a situation where I am getting the first turn and he is getting his nuke off, so might as well do we're gonna take advantage to do 5% more damage against enemies or 5% more HP, or if I can't break through their stone skin, so eventually I will break through that stone skin. And like I said, every time you kill an enemy, you increase damage. So yeah, yeah, so yeah, exactly. So I think personally, for a more nuke based, like, hey, let's win the battle in the first couple of turns. Um, lethal's the way to go. Now, if you want to turtle your way in, slow battle, yeah, I do have a 9-piece Macuro set. I had on them. Let's even take a look at it. So that's what I had in the 9-piece McCurl. It lower crit damage, really no difference in the HP, significantly more accuracy. Speed was pretty much the same. So personally, like I said, I'd rather make my I want my nukers to nuke. And like I said, as I told before, I've said it. Where like I think the Mercurial set is just it. Everyone's rushing to regear the champions in it, but if unless you're going first, you know, I could just hit you 3 times and you don't even have a stack. So what was the point? So it's the illusion you have a chance. I think Oliver said it's not really if you can't bring in AOE and you're not hitting multiple times, then oh yeah, it's going to give you problems. Well, that's why you bring in a team that does AOE. You don't bring in a team of AOE, then yeah, you're going to have problems. So, you know, that's, fair, it is what it is. All right. So I hit my quota for my matches, and, you know, I'm time for a break. And like I said, I might be back on later. But I did my 10 matches. I'm good with that. But yeah, like I said, I think I, I understand why everyone's rushing to regear the champions and Mercurial set. I really do. But they're just gonna eventually make a champion that just ignores it flat out. And then, like I said, just make sure you bring in champions that hit multiple times, and that's really the answer. Like some of these battles that I had. Okay, so obviously, you know, Saburo brings in, does like 3 hits by himself, herself, and then I had um, Theodosia change forms, and then obviously at that point in time, even if they had any left, Marius, triple hits them. So no, so it's just obviously Predator can hit 2 times for the most part. Um, like I said, so like right now, one of my best counters is, like I said, it would if you, great. I understand not everyone has this champion, but this champion by himself, by herself, hits all enemies 2 times. Okay, that's a 2-hitter right now, and it has an extra turn, and then attacks all enemies 2 times, right there. So you go A3, A2, and 100% all the Mercurial sets gone. So right now, yeah, obviously, not everyone is in that situation of having this champion. But hey, since I do, Mercurial, good luck. He ain't gonna save your butt. All right, I'm gonna go for a while. Maybe be back on. I gotta call a friend of mine back, and I know 8 o'clock reset, and then sometime I gotta at least do my um Chimera. Like I said, I got the team that could do 25 mythical mats. Um, but for now, take a little break. Maybe we'll be back on. Like I said, see what my friend Adam is up to. We're gonna figure something out for a game plan. Like I said, we just get together and just kind of bullshit, and grab dinner. I guess there's UFC. I don't think either of us are too keen about watching it because it could. I don't know. I don't know any of the fighters, and I think he knows them a little better than I do. But it's not something we really bother with these days. So have fun, everyone.